Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning, khush aamdeed. Ji आया नु, goedemorgen is Pata.
Pakhair agale, ni hao, tune shumme, washmale, ohai, gonzaimes, guten morgen, hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifa hal, hale shama chatore, ahlan wasalan, marhaba, buna, mucho, gracias, swabiab, bhalli karaya. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into PTV World. You're watching World this morning alongside the very fantastic, the very amazing, the very superb, the very talented, the very hotsome, ladies and gentlemen. The name is Shahzad Ehsan Khan, and with me, I'm very lucky to have the very amazing, the very down to earth, the very humble, the very modest, the very right on time, ladies and gentlemen. She happens to be Miss Shiza Hashmi. Hello, Shiza. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. The weather over here in Islamabad is fantastic. I think that we are in that transition period from where we are moving from summers to winters as well. But we hope and pray that everybody is ready to kickstart their day with us. Hello, Shiza. How are you doing today?
Wa alaikum salam too when you said assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for asking. I'm doing absolutely fine. Loving your energy because I feel like mine is a little compromised today, but we're getting on the same page.
I
Don't
was about to
worry.
say that as well because when I woke up, I don't think that I was having a good morning, and then
Why?
eventually I ended up being in an argument as well, and
Oh.
I was like whether I should pick up this call or not. So it's just that I have to take this. Okay, I'm going to share it with everybody today, so I have to take this medicine in the morning and then at night as well, and it's mandatory and I cannot miss it. But so what happens is that just before sleeping I get munchies. And
Okay.
and I really have to be empty stomach before I actually kind of eat or I'm ready to have or take my medicine.
Okay.
So what I did was that I actually had 2 or 3 packs of biscuits as well, or cookies, and then I was like, okay, I've eaten quite a lot of cookies, so I cannot pretty much take the medicine now. And then so I kind of slept and I was unable to take my medicine, and then
Oh
I
no.
got down and I was like to mom that I missed out on my medicine, and then she kind of said something to my wife, and then my wife called me while I was on my way that why couldn't you could have told me. And I was like, I mean, it that I have to take it every single day. So what's about telling? So yeah, so she called me once, and then the way she was talking or the way her tone was, I was like, okay, I don't think that I should be talking to her. So I kind of
What?
disconnected the call. She kept on calling me, and I was
Oh
like, okay, yeah,
God.
I don't think that I should be in this frame of mind. But as
Okay.
other than that, I think that I'm absolutely perfect, absolutely fine, and yeah, ready to get started today. What about you? How did you wake up today?
Well, I woke up
I think there was
fine.
quite a lot of personal information, but yeah, it's
No,
fine.
it's totally all right, which
Happens
also
with everyone.
well, speaking of personal information, just before we started the show,
Yeah.
it was in my mind, and while I was also walking in the studio, I had to call my house help and tell her not to come today.
Why?
Because I already worked, she dished on me yesterday, and I did all the
Oh.
things myself, and now I don't want her to come because I'll just be angry at her. So I think we're both today dealing with anger in our different
Yeah,
ways as
and
well.
not just that. Okay, I have a similar incident to share, and that is that just like I think probably 4 days ago, so I was in the shower and I was just looking at the walls. You know how you kind of think about things, and I was like, okay, there's this spot, and I could feel that that spot has been there for a while, and I was
Oh.
like, this lady, alhamdulillah, the house help, domestic help, she comes every single day, but she's missing out on the spot, that which means that she's actually not doing her job right.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I was like, yeah, before I actually kind of say anything to her, I should actually think the same about myself. If am I doing my job right or not? So I was like, okay, yeah, you're on time. Nobody has any complaints about you. I think you're doing great. So you should probably tell
Self
her that, hey, you
analysis.
know what? You probably need to bend down a little and clean that spot up.
No, absolutely. You have to sometimes, call out people on what they're doing and
Yeah.
they're not doing. Definitely so. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, while we do hope that you are going to have an amazing day, you have to start that with an amazing breakfast. And
Yeah.
I'm going to speak on behalf of Shazad over here. I promise you, he started his day with a paratha.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I knew
I
it.
did. I do it every single day. In fact, this was another debate and an argument. All right, so for all our viewers in 46 different countries, ladies and gentlemen, we are ordinary people. We come from ordinary backgrounds as well, and I believe that that's why masses kind of love us as well, because we kind of share the same life they live on daily basis as well. So just yesterday. No, my car was in an accident, unfortunately. So
Oh,
the driver went to kind of drop my daughter,
is everyone okay though?
and yeah, everybody was okay, alhamdulillah. But so they were in a hurry because now the school is like, okay,
Yeah.
if you're going to send in your daughter, that too a little late, we're going to fine her.
Oh.
And I was like to driver, I said, okay, if he gets fined, you get fined because it's because of you that she's getting late. So he was in a hurry probably, and then he kind of bumped into another car. And while I was doing the show yesterday, I got a message in between, and I thought as if that there was somebody else who bumped their car into ours. And I was like, okay, they're going to pay for the repair cost and whatever. And but I kind of was thinking the other way around. And then I eventually realized that I have to pay for the other car as well. And it wasn't really a good morning. So my wife kind of told me that, hey, you know what, from yesterday or from tomorrow onwards, you actually have to drop her. And I was like, do you want me to go hungry to the office?
Oh.
Because if I'm going to get to drop her, I won't get time for breakfast. So yeah, so she actually had to go to drop my daughter, and I kind of did my breakfast, had my breakfast, and it was fantastic. Amazing. I love the tea today.
Well, that's brilliant. Absolutely amazing. And this is how things work as well. Sharing and balancing things out. Imagine you had to do all the things, including that.
Yeah.
And, well, I'm just imagining if she didn't have to do, your wife didn't have to do half
Yeah.
the work, then of course it's not fair to either you or her. So striking the right kind of balance is definitely the way forward.
True.
But all right, coming back to what we're talking about today. Before I do reveal that, I have a question for you,
go
because
ahead.
because every other day, whenever we are sitting together, so either he's suggesting me something to watch, and either I'm suggesting him something to watch. One of your suggestions, which actually turned out great for me, was The Boys on Prime.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
loved
yeah.
it, absolutely loved it. There's a new season coming, by the way, and
Wow.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah.
But my question to you is, do you have a movie or a film or, well, a short film, whatever, in your mind, which might have had a huge impact on your life? And
Yeah.
why so?
Yeah, and it was later in my life that, so, okay, I'm going to take you through as well, because, so I was in England, my father was with me, and he doesn't like England at all. So,
Why?
whenever he goes to England, he's like, okay, I don't want to go out because it's small houses, whatever, small streets. He doesn't like that. He feels as if, he needs more space to himself as well.
Okay.
So my brother-in-law, he was, he's a great guy, and he was like the Paji. That's what he called my dad as well. Paji, aaye aapko aaj film dikhate hain. Abu was like, okay, let's go. So me, dad, and my brother-in-law, we went to watch a film, and as I was in the cinema and the movie started, and gradually, towards the climax, I was like, yeah, wow, what a fantastic film it is.
Which one was it?
And I'm going to share
Okay,
that with you.
I
And
can't wait.
Imagine that towards the end of the movie, I was actually standing in the cinema, and I was like, wow, yeah, this is the best film I've ever watched. And to be very honest, I think I've watched that film probably 11 or 12 times by now.
Oh.
And every time I watch it, the adrenaline rush I get, the pump I get, and the more focus I get to, kind of achieve what I want to achieve as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, the name of the film is Battleship. If you guys haven't watched it, please make sure that you watch it. It's like, it's a military film. In fact, it's based on Navy as well. And then, there are these forces which come from outside our world as well, and how this one gentleman who happens to be the hero kind of battles around it as well, and it's fantastic, and they do not give up at all. What about you?
Well,
I think you might have a lot of them.
I love cinema. Oh my God, I think I live for it. I feel like probably in one of my past lives, I was a cinema critic, theater critic as well, because I get so deep into it too. But I think the latest one I might have watched and did stay with me was The Taste of Cherry. It's an Iranian film.
All right.
It's very depressing, and it's very lonely, and it's actually how a person is discovering through his dark period or his dark spell of life what life means to him. He's definitely struggling to understand if it's even worth living or not, but at the same time he's facing all these things which make him think that, okay, it's worth it.
Taste of Cherry, huh?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Iranian cinema is amazing, by the way. Their storytelling is just superb, no questions in that. Well, today we are talking about films, and if you have some of your favorites, keep writing to us throughout the show. Maybe we'll try to incorporate them in our conversation too. And for that, we have someone so apt, one of the biggest names in Pakistani industry. Before we do introduce him, we have a small report for you about, well, Pakistani films. Let's take a look at it.
Let's do it.
Pakistan's film industry has a history that goes back to pre-partition era. Since then, the industry has gone through several slumps as well as revivals. The new era of film production in Pakistan was kick-started with a blockbuster film Khuda Ke Liye in 2007, which stimulated production of innovative films with engaging stories. Today, Pakistan's film industry rolls out a light-hearted, entertaining content as well as gripping stories that carry messages of social transformation. Meaningful films with deep lessons can foster change in a society by raising awareness, reviewing taboos, addressing critical issues, and generating conversations. Such films can play an integral role in the intellectual development of Pakistan's society. In a globalized world, it is necessary to curb foreign influence by telling local stories from Pakistan that are relevant to the people. Recently, COVID-19 pandemic has impacted film industry by halting the production of new films due to the need for social distancing. The pandemic has also gravely affected cinemas, which are scheduled to reopen soon but will face a shortage of recently released local films to the screen, resulting in difficulty in attracting the audiences. Moreover, social distancing measures and vaccination requirements will also impact business. However, the situation is not entirely bleak. As life pieces itself back together, so too will Pakistan's film industry. In fact, several films are already set to release later in 2021. Moreover, a rapidly developing electronic media industry in the last 2 decades has brought to the fore several outstanding content creators and filmmakers whose quality content is equally good. Thus, the filmmaking in Pakistan is continuing to reach new heights.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, so finally, I think today I'm actually going to say it on television as well. This guy is great. I mean, every time he's made sure that he's going to take out time and be over here on the program. And, I think that it happens naturally that whenever you come across a film producer, an actor or a writer, you kind of have this wish to, oh yeah, sir, kisi din hame bhi cast kar le. Yeah, something like that. And I won't feel any shame in it as well, because this is how it is. Everybody needs to kind of ask for work as well if you're interested, ladies and gentlemen. But this guy is amazing. I think he's one of those guys who's actually shot the best ever fighter jets combat scene, and that too in the best of the manner as well, ladies and gentlemen, because I've seen the film myself and I've loved it. I think that the artwork, the camera work, everything was so realistic and fantastic that this guy truly deserves a big round of applause. He, ladies and gentlemen, happens to be a writer, a producer, actor, and a director. He is Mr. Noman Khan. Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning. Hello.
People of Pakistan, I would like to tell you a great intro, being a writer.
Okay.
So how could you have this energy in this morning? And I still remember one day, that there was a TV show, PTV show way back, and this PTV show was happening at some other places, and people never used to have this mobile phone. So Dildar Parvez Bhatti Saab came on the line, and at that point, he said, Begum, I won't be coming tonight back home, so I'm here in the other town, and this is a direct message to yourself. So today you had a rough morning and you had conversations. You can pass the messages from here that even if I was not even at that time, so I'm trying to be even at the live session with yourself, and I mentioned you.
Exactly.
So
I mean, they want me to kind of mention, because she's always had her doubts about me that, hey, you know what, you do not talk about me on your shows. And I was like, why do you want me to talk about you on your
I
on my
talk
show?
about her more than you do.
Yeah, that's true as well.
we had the complete 20-minute session on yourself. So we talked about yourself. And even before this program started, he was talking great about yourself. So make up.
Alhamdulillah.
I hope
but
she's
there
watching
there
though.
was only one reason why we kind of spoke about it, because when Naman Sahab actually came in the studio, I'm going to be honest now. He said, "Subah utke, yaar, I want to give you guys a rich tribute, because subah utke to mera apni beegi se baat karne ka dil nahi cha raha tha." I'm sorry, but he spoke very high about yourself as well.
Say, Man Haji Bugam.
Alhamdulillah. But sir, thank you very much for joining us. Wonderful to have you, and jokes apart. But first things first, what we're going to do is we're actually going to share the trailer of Sher Dil with all our audiences out there in 46 different countries.
Show
and
your
then kind
mettle.
of come back to you as well, because we want to talk about how cinema kind of has an impact on our life, how it shapes or changes society, and how was it, for the filmmakers and film actors during COVID as well. And it's still going on. Cinemas were shut down. And I know that, there are a lot of mega stars, superstars who are in Pakistan are finally kind of coming back to television screen as well, because there's no more work if we talk about films in particular. So please go ahead and take a
Great
look at this
questions.
trailer.
ये वर्दी में चलते फिरते लोग आम से दिखते हैं, लेकिन वक्त आने पर अपना सब कुछ कुर्बान करने पर राजी हो जाती।
Joining instructions PAF Academy. What?
तुम जो रिश्ता बनाने जा रहे हो ना, उसे निभाना बहुत मुश्किल है।
Are you here with your own choice?
मैंने तुम्हें क्या पहन के आने को बोला था?
सर चड्डी के बगैर आना था।
Yeah.
Well, amazing. This is something that whenever we do come across, we're both like, okay, this is beautiful to watch. And of course, because we have we have been exposed to Pakistani films or dramas for that matter in general as well, but this was something really out of the box.
And everyone's a fan of Top Gun anyways, yeah.
Yeah,
So, you know,
I
so-
was gonna say, I think this is our own Pakistani Top Gun, but a better one. So thank you for, giving us that. But we will talk about Sher Dil itself. Let's talk about the questions that Shahzad threw you. And on top of them, right now, can you paint us a picture of the TV/film industry of Pakistan during the pandemic?
I'll start with the film industry
Sure.
first.
Okay.
Because as the cinemas have not really opened, and at this point of time, once it has not opened, people are not visiting them. And think about that you have a product of 100 million rupees, which you have already made, and you have to unleash it. And nobody is coming to watch it. So
Right.
all the producers are going through this phase that what they should do. But what I would request to you is that you have programs, presence in every house. Once it opens up, then we need to be in the cinemas to support all those producers.
Exactly.
Because it is not a producer, it means that all the technical people who are there, it means all the writers, it means all the songwriters, it means everybody who is trying to make the film industry alive. So one is that. So I know my personal friends who are producers, they have already made the movies and it is with them and they're waiting for the cinemas to open. At the same time, you have very rightly pointed out that many of the mega stars, they're back on the television screens. We are seeing them because there are no movie being made. Internationally also, many of the international stars have complained that why our movies were in the cinemas once the people were not coming. So cinema industry is going down. But we are going to these shopping arenas, we are going to every other places, we can have the SOPs in the cinemas, and because it's a snowball effect which is going to pick up very slowly. So if it opens even today, it will be 3 months from now that people will start coming to the cinemas.
Yeah, exactly.
So we must open it with the SOPs here, and then we can wait for it and people
But
to pick
who
up.
makes that happen? Because this was just yesterday, I think PCB announced that cricket stadiums
Yeah,
are going
yeah.
to now have 25%, be operating on 25% live audience.
Because New Zealand
which
team
means,
is coming to Pakistan on the
Right.
17th of the next month.
which means similar things can be done for theatres as well, don't you think?
But I totally agree to what you have just mentioned. The point is that as we enter into a hospital, as we enter into an arena, what happens before that we are all jumbled up at one place and the SOPs are only for those halls where we are sitting.
That's
And I would even go to the extent that you must have seen the reports on the social media, then one of the biggest event where people picked up the COVID was the football.
Yeah.
This matches which took place. So yes, we can have the SOPs. 25% is even less. I would even go to the 40% because even 3 seats and then afterwards people can
Right.
sit down. So we must open up the cinemas, the cricket matches and all these things with all these gears. But once we are making up the queues there, it is required at that place.
Exactly. That's wonderfully
Right.
well. And, I think you've said it right as well. But, there are always different type of personalities. I mean, for me, if I go to cinema, I would actually want to be very clingy to the person who's sitting right next to me and kind of enjoying my nachos and drink and be like, yeah, acha ye scene aise hona chahiye, and things like that. Or probably a cricket match or a football match. So it varies because, the way you enjoy is very different from any other person as well. But sir, there's this one thing, and I'm jumping ahead in the conversation as well. We'll come back to what we're talking about already. But since I was thinking that I might forget this point, I wanted to mention that, if we look across the border, and I believe that, that if you have to learn, it does not really matter where the learning comes from. I think everybody can do that. There's superstars or mega stars that are coming down towards TV premieres of the films. You know, because they know that the cinemas are not going to open up, so let's do TV premieres. And obviously, that particular TV channel is going to pay them a hefty amount of money. But what I have realized over here in Pakistan is that film producers, rather than talking about how much they love art or how much they have invested in the film emotionally or physically for that matter, they worry about the outcome of the film, and that too in monetary terms as well. You know, and I think that this is one thing which I do not agree to when I look at the producers from Pakistan, but rather all over the world, people are going for pay-per-view, people are going for Netflix as well, there are so many platforms these days that any producer can earn, alhamdulillah, a good amount of money. So why don't we come down on terms with COVID and come down to having TV premieres? Because Airway has done a beautiful job, you know, bringing all of these films to us as well. Now Hum is being a part of that too as well. So why do you think that the producers are not thinking about TV premieres? Because they made these films 2 years ago. You know, for all of those films which are still pending. I mean, I know this film which in there is Farhan and then there is Feroz. You know, that's one film which is in the process as well, and there are other films as well, which you said that, you know, your producer friends have told you that, okay, you know, once the situation is going to settle down. So why aren't we opting for newer techniques so that, okay, yeah, you know, we have made a film, we need to share it with the audiences, let's do a TV premiere of the film.
I love how long his questions are.
Very good question.
Thank you.
But the devil lies in the details.
Okay.
And
Okay.
the devil is that if the producer is made part of that benefit which is earned by that movie, any producer would like to have it.
True.
We all would like to have our movies to be on the Netflix or any other platform, OTT platform. But the point is that the contract signed with all of these big names, which they would say that, okay, fine, we can show it. For example, on the YouTube, if the movie comes up, so I'll ask Shiza that what is the earning of her of that movie which she has made, as you said, with all that sweat, blood and toil. So she would say that is ZERO. So yes, she would like that it must be seen by everybody, and being a viewer, I would like to go to any of the YouTube channel and watch any of the movies. The questions comment when this movie is coming on the YouTube, when this movie is coming on the YouTube. So at the end, if the benefit comes down to the producers, they would love to have this thing. But as these television channels, which you mentioned, will not be making the producers part of it, they would say, okay, we can.
Yeah.
But so
And you know, I'm sorry, Shizab, I know that you actually have a connecting question to that as well, but I for sure know that TV channels do this. You know, what they'll do is that, okay, you know, if any producer is going to walk in and be like, hey, you know what, let's do a TV premiere of my film, they'll be like, okay, you give us all the rights.
Yeah.
And this is something I've seen, I'm sorry, but I've seen it myself as well, because I used to be a video jockey for a music channel, and there was this other music channel which was very competitive. It does not exist anymore, so I'm going to name it AG TV.
I loved AG.
Yeah. So AG TV. So what they did was that they signed Atif Aslam, they signed Farhan Goer, and you know, everybody else. And you know what they did to them? That, hey, you know what, you cannot perform without our permission, or you cannot, or probably another music channel cannot play your song. And this mindset, we need to get rid of this mindset. How do you think that we can get rid of this mindset? Because there has to be somebody, or the producers of the film as well, who are going to put their foot down. Hey, you know what, I cannot give you all the rights. Okay, partially we can enjoy whatever monetary return we're going to get on it.
I will not name this great channel which is showing the songs of the Sherdil every day. I come across phones every day that we saw a song. So that is what I'm. But once I gave the call to the owner of that channel, and he said that it's going to be for free for showing all these songs on our television channel. So I gave a call to Ali Zafar and I said, Ali Zafar, tell me about your songs are also being played there. Have you enjoyed any of the contract value with them? He says, ZERO. Zero. So I'll say it again, that these things happen in the Western world where people make one product and then this goes on with them. So here, yes, I would say that this is not there, but we are doing it for the love that we have created something, and it must be viewed by your family, yourself. So that is why the producer are going way ahead of it. And then they are still producing all those things. As I said, that we had to go to Thailand Turkey, and many other places for the audio making of these movies I'm talking about. And they have already done it. Somebody is also doing it with me, but they are at halt because the cinemas are not on right now.
Exactly. And
Well, and you know what?
Yeah.
Just talking about that, it also sort of makes me appreciate, or actually just say that kudos to you guys, because looking at the face of the film industry of our country, what you guys are doing is literally something out of passion. You're not, because when an industry doesn't exist as much as solid it should be, and then you coming in with so much expertise and just amazing visuals, it's coming from your heart. We see that, and which is why I really love to talk about it, bringing the best content to your own people. Shazad, hold on to that thought. We will definitely get to that. Right now, I feel like we should head out to a short break. But before that, speaking of, short films even, Pakistanis are actually they have this talent and they're really making ends meet in a way that they want to bring the best forward. One thing I absolutely admired recently was I came across a news from Sharmeen Obaid Chinoy, where she said she's now going to train female filmmakers in Pakistan and provide them with the whole course and develop their expertise, which is amazing. This is what we want.
I mean, but
And
you know what? Even if you're
there's
talking
no
about short
but in
films, but
this.
for all of those people, I'm sorry that I'm cutting you, but I mean, we do not want that anti-state
No,
sentiment,
Shazad, it's not
anti-state
no.
sentiment in our films, because all of those films which have been awarded with awards, I think that that they did have a little bit of anti-state sentiment to it as well. But that's a longer debate. We're going to come down to this. I'm going to go back to where Numan Saab actually said that, hey, you know what, for every time they're going to play songs from my film, and there's zero monetary value which is going to come down to them. So let me tell you, because just a few months ago, all of us artists, we started uploading this hashtag give royalties to artists as well. Where, I mean, for example, let's talk about Friends. What a wonderful season. I think I kind of have memorized each and every episode of Friends as well. Every time Friends, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're going to watch it all over the world, the cast is going to get paid. So that's beautiful. Every day, every single time, every episode, or whatever episode is being played from Friends, they're going to get paid. Not just that. Imagine, so I'm going to, it's a Western news channel as well. So whenever they're going to play their OST, that too before news and after news as well, the same guy who produced that OST is going to get paid. And that's all they have done their entire life, and they're sitting at home and they get royalties and they get paid as well. How do you think that we can bring this system to Pakistan as well and kind of make people realize, hey, you know what, because I signed this web series with some, I mean, it was telecom industry official as well, and he was there and it was like, sir, you know what, so we have the rights to play the episodes you have recorded. So the episodes were run on 35 different TV channels. So he's like, said, if you're interested to do it, we'll always have the rights to ourselves, and whenever we want to play them, we will play them. And similar things happen. Because earlier I was a VJ, as I've told you, so they still play my programs at times. I never get paid. There was this other channel, I've done multiple shows for them. They play them on repeat. Because eventually when you start to grow, alhamdulillah, in the process, people then realize, oh, yaar, ye to achhe shows the, inko chalao dobara. And you never get paid. So how do you think we can bring this mechanism over here?
Sheza was also saying it, and you say it. Ask somebody who keeps dog. Ask somebody who keeps cats. And they would say that we have to take care of this animal. So it means it creates a love in your heart to take care of somebody, like in a pet form. What I'm heading to is that whosoever creates some music, some movie, some other creative art, so at the similar time somebody was enjoying at that time, and this person in that night was working to create that thing.
True.
Right.
They say anything which is easy to read, so understand that much of effort has gone in writing it.
Absolutely.
So that was the effort which has gone to make Friends, or something which you want to watch or listen again.
True.
So now comes the part that if this creation is done, afterward, will he or she get something out of it? So I'm totally agreed to this thing. But the first thing is realization for the people who creates this thing, and the respect for this in the community. Once we start respecting those people, that he has written a music The first time, you know, I was in Shenzhen province in China, and I heard to a very unknown song which was made 50 years ago. And I said that this musician does not know that right now in Shenzhen province, this song is being played at this point in the night.
And the
I
impact
am
it
enjoying it.
has.
I am enjoying it this time. So yes, I would say the way Ishrat Iqbal said, that the way we do not give the real value to our workers who are doing something for us. West has gone away from it now. So we have those people. Similarly, we need to create the respect for the people, and we have to talk about that this is the respect. Yes, the respect is for the purpose of selfie. The respect is for the purpose of autograph. But this must grow into our heart, the way we respect our loved ones. So that respect is coming, and while we are talking about this thing, that is going into them. So that respect would go in, and automatically then the next step which comes is that Shehzad must be given the royalty, the show which he did years ago. And at that point of time, they said that he's a new starter. So we just had it. Now what he talked, that values to us.
Exactly.
Well,
and
that
that's
is
wonderful. And we
brilliant.
literally need to do that, ladies and gentlemen, over here. And that is actually going to be a great initiative towards uplifting the entire society, which comprises of artists like me, Shiza, you know, Naman Bhai, or anybody for that matter as well. And we really need to do that. But we're heading out towards a short break at this very moment. Please make sure that you
You stay tuned. We'll be right back. And when we come back, we will have a new narrative from another award-winning filmmaker. Stay tuned to find out who. Good morning.
we talk.
Welcome back to Well This Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I have with me Shazad Khan, and I'm Shaza Hashmi. Today we are talking about films,
Yeah.
not just Pakistani ones, but in general, their impact, why they're made, and what their purpose is. And to talk about that, we have, well, one of our very favorite Pakistani producers, a very big name, Naman Khan. Welcome back. All right, so coming back to what we were talking about, and you did actually leave me with a point which I didn't want to talk, but I think now I will. Being a producer or being an art creator for that matter, how annoying are torrents for you or piracy?
Yes, it happened. My whole team was sitting after the movie, and it was coming on so many channels, and they were telling this is the way to download the movie from the torrent
Oh
and all
no.
that stuff. And we had to go for the strikeouts for all these things, because whenever you do that, sometime the people used to come to the cinemas and holding the mobile in between the legs and
They
making that.
film it?
Yeah,
So
and the
that they can
YouTube.
upload it on YouTube. Yeah.
I didn't
YouTube,
know
so
that.
the scenes used to come. So yes, YouTube does hunt with the logarithm to take it or strike it down, but it doesn't work all that better. But I would say that you need to have a very lucid team who should do that, and that's why we have to take care of this thing. And you're very right that there's a big market out there which takes these all the movies on the all these platforms which are not paid to the producer. So this is the work of the producer, that they have to go for a
Exactly. And
strikeout.
imagine, but you know what? I think that it's a constant struggle, because just 2 days ago I was sitting down with a friend of mine, and he said, "Hey, you know what? So one of my friend came from Hyderabad and downloaded this application on my phone, and I can watch any film I want. That's it."
What was the app called?
So I mean,
Don't say it,
No.
but
it,
okay.
it had a very different name to it. That it was hard for me to kind of understand. It
Not
was another.
N?
It was in another language. Well, certainly, I know it looked golden and white on top of it, and that's what it was. And you have to kind of log into it as well. It's password protected, and you can watch any film. But now, sir, coming down to where I talked about that, how now TV premieres are becoming very common amidst COVID, and for all of those film producers, they want their films to go to the public, and they want to share it with them. Now, for a person like you, because you're very creative, and I think I must appreciate Mr. Wajahat Rauf as well, because his first two films were flops, unfortunately, and he still continued to make more films as well. I think the dedication is real. Now, after Sher Dil, it was a successful film, alhamdulillah, everybody loved it, and it was COVID. You still know that cinemas are not going to open up, and even if they open up, the timings they give us, the schedule Pakistani cinemas give us. I mean, why would I go at 1:30 to watch a film? Either it's going to be 3, 6 p.m. or 9 p.m., but at 3, 6 or 9, they're going to play Hollywood films. This is something which is very unfair in the first place. Are you planning to do something for television now?
Yes, I am doing. I have just completed one of the song, and I'm finally at the editing table.
Really?
Yeah, editing table, and we are completing that thing. And this is going to be something which you are going to remember, because if you remember, I did the last song of Junaid Jamshed, "Tum hi se hai mujahido,"
Yeah.
"Yahan ka sab baat hai," and that became a viral after that. And then
So are you trying to say that you're going to sing the song this time around as well?
No, sir. No, sir. I will not sing that song, because I would know that Shiza is such a big singer. You are such a big singer.
No,
and
You got that
singing in
right.
front of.
I'm talking about this project you're working on right now. Are you going to sing it?
During the COVID, I couldn't find a better singer around myself.
Aw.
So yes, and the people who sings much better than me was away from me. So to direct them and to create a music for them, that was difficult. So I thought that, this is something, as I told, that the people who keeps the pet, they have to create something after a while. It is in them. I know that even if PTV says that you will not be paid for a few days, you will say, still it is in my blood to talk, and I would like to come for someday.
Exactly.
I
Yes,
have
ma'am.
to appreciate over here though, because this again is something you're doing out of love of art, right?
Yeah.
And it is something amazing that you do, because that drive to keep bringing something for the audiences, it's amazing. But that doesn't mean I'm driving away from where Shazad was about to ask you to.
Yeah, obviously, but probably, towards the end, we are going to request you to kind of sing a few lines
Okay.
as well. But tell us about this telefilm a little bit,
Yeah,
the star
telefilm.
cast.
We
the
always
story.
write the genre, that what is the genre of something.
What is
so,
it?
so the point is that, yes, we say it's a sitcom,
Okay.
And once I say sitcom, it means that why do we sometimes like the British comedies, that it is not throwing somebody out of the chair, but you still are smiling while they are having conversation. The way you were saying in the morning that how your morning unfolded, it was a kind of a sitcom for me. I was
We'd
understanding
love
that.
to be in a
you know,
sitcom.
And the way you were telling me about your house sitcom or all these things, you brought us into that thing. So I wanted to write some sitcom in a manner during the COVID time that if even a serious conversation is being done, even then people smile. So this 70 minutes, which I have already created, I'm at the final verge. I had to start in the end of the September, but I'm just pushing it a little further to shoot. So that is already written. Some casting is all. Much of the casting is done.
I mean, share a few names. Come
Yeah,
on, you know.
yeah,
So we want
yeah.
to develop the interest as well.
So you're going to see that thing, and while I've written, because Sherdil was a serious movie, that was the armed forces movie, and I wanted to go to a
Who's in the star cast? You know,
Uh,
just give us like a name or two.
I am considering there's a big name called Shahzad. If
Aw.
he gives me the time,
Wow,
you know,
that's wonderful.
So sweet.
if he comes, you know, that will be an honor for this producer. That
That's so
That'll be an honor for me too as well. But you kind of certainly, I mean, somebody whom you have signed already, okay?
because we want to look forward to it, no?
we are under NDA with them, and so that's why I'm
It's a
holding it to
non-disclosure
myself.
agreement, ladies. Okay, tell us a little about the story.
Yeah, the little. I wanted to connect with 70% of the population of Pakistan, which is in the younger ages right now. And I wanted to talk about my millennials. I wanted to talk about how they feel and what are their interests. So I had to sit lots of time with my children, with the young people, to understand them, the language and the conversation and the terminologies which they share. So I included that. So it's going to connect to all those people. Yes, it's going to be very funny. I think so. And so that is what we're heading to. And this is going to be unfolded, inshallah, very soon within this year. So we are at the. But just a news that I've already written the Sherdil 2. It's completed. And
In case Armina doesn't sign up, I'm here.
yeah. So the thing is that it's going to be a new cast, of course.
Okay.
So she's not
There's
going
always
to
a
be there.
chance. She's married already, so I don't know whether she's got time.
But all right, so one thing though, this is, of course, we're looking forward to it, and all the best of luck, inshallah. We have no doubt what you're going to bring to screens. It is going to be amazing. But just recently, I was talking to Shahzad as well, and there's this new concept of people making media content, be it TV series for that matter, or a movie or whatsoever, but not releasing it on a platform or a channel, or even cinemas for that matter, but making NFTs for them, which is
Non-fungible tokens.
Tokens, yes. And basically, you can only access that content if you buy those. So everything's moving.
And it's only going to be with you.
Yeah, and it's only going to be with you. Mila Kunis just made Stoner Cats, and it's amazing. I'm dying to watch it, but I'm not going to buy an NFT. Sorry. So you tell me, is that the future of everything?
I would say that this is a very smart move, and this is the kind of the future, because if I ask you, if you ask anybody that how long this COVID is going to be there, and this is the new normal now for us, that this is going to be there. So what I'm saying is that people have to think about it, that how we have to go further. So NFT is one of the
Would you do that?
I would certainly like to do that, because distribution, going to many other channels, and he has been a VJ himself who has started all this thing and talking about the royalty. So he knows that what goes for a producer after creating the masterpiece. Every producer thinks that his thing is masterpiece. Otherwise, he must have not made it.
Exactly.
You know, that is why he has created it. But afterwards, it becomes difficult for this product to be with the people, with the audiences. So this is a good solution for that.
And you've said it rightfully as well. Thank you very much for taking our time. We wish you best of luck for all your future endeavors as well, for your telefilm and for Sherdil too as well. May you, you know, kind of get all sorts of success, alhamdulillah, whatever. Because obviously I know, because I've recently made a song for myself as well. Her younger brother wrote it, and it's very close to my heart.
When are you releasing it though?
Yeah, so I mean, it's still in the completion process. It's in mix and master, you know, so it's going to take a little bit of time. But other than that, since we spoke about COVID, so I have this amazing meme. It's on my cell phone. I know that, you guys might not be able to see this picture, but you guys can see the picture of this guy. And this guy says, waiting in line for your 56 booster shot to stop the 89th variant that comes with the 23rd wave.
I
God
swear,
forbid.
this looks like I hope not, but this really looks like what is going to happen because we do not see an end to the virus going on.
That's
as
how
well.
the face is.
Oh, imagine. But thank you so much for coming once again, ladies and gentlemen. I hope the discussion did leave something with you because everything we try to bring to you every other morning is definitely not. We make sure that it does leave something for you in terms of impact as well. So first of all, I would request you all to please support your local cinema because while of course we all enjoy Bollywood or Hollywood so much, this is something that our own country is producing. So why not be a part of the booming economy, right? If you have any suggestions or questions or feedback, do write to us to let us know on all our social media pages with the name of
With the name of Walt this morning, because every other time earlier you guys used to give us this feedback that we really need to have separate sofas, so we
Now we
finally
have separate
sofas for each one of us as well. So please make sure that whatever you have to say, please do share it with us. Thank you very much, Numan bhai. Ek dafa phir se thank you very much for coming, and for all those people who are out there, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for supporting us. It's been 9 years, and all of these 9 years, every single day has been fantastic because of you guys. Look after yourselves. 1, 2, 3.
Good
Morning.
Take care.